Our third speaker is someone really terrific. Her name is Halle Aten. She is a psychologist, and she does work with lots of different people. But what I think's spoken about, she'll talk to you guys, is she's putting together a group practice. And what's so important is that there are people out there that are in need of different types of therapies. So hopefully she can tell you about the work she's doing, and maybe even some of you are a fit for the practice she's putting together. So I'd like to have her come on up and talk to us about her work. Thank you very
much. I have notes. You'll have to forgive me. The reason I have notes is actually because what I'm going to be talking to you about today is brand new. It's my brand new project, and it's in its very earliest stages. So I'm eager to share this with you. This will be the first time I've talked about it, so any feedback you have would be great. As Blake said, my name is Dr. Halle Aten. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. I've been working with a variety of of clients in a variety of different ways for over 10 years now. I don't even really keep track anymore. But the group that we're starting is called the Aten Group. We're putting the group together to offer comprehensive psychological services to a wide variety of underserved populations. We're evolving as I speak. We have 7 therapists right now currently in the group, and we're always looking for more people to join us and become part of our community. At the moment, we are just individual therapists sharing a suite of offices. We're not even in an official business that is a group yet. But in about a year or two, we're going to evolve that into a larger group and hopefully have a larger suite of offices. Our mission is bifold. One aspect of the mission, like I mentioned before, is to offer a comprehensive array of services to as diverse of a population as we can in the city of Los Angeles. That's actually why we are located where we are. We're in the Carthay Circle area, which is adjacent to Beverly Hills, close to Culver City, close to West Hollywood and Century City, and really close to the 10 freeway. So we're hoping that that'll make us nice and accessible to as many people as we can get. And the other aspect of the mission is to provide a setting where a diverse group of therapists can build their own therapeutic community, to support one another and to receive collegial support, consultation, and also within group referrals. So what we have now is about, let me think for a second, we have 6. We have 4 psychologists and 2 LCSWs in the practice. We also have actually 2 psychological assistants that we're working with, so we're doing training as well. And our therapists are, like I said, they're diverse. We have 2 bilingual psychotherapists, we have couples and sex therapists in the group, and then the populations that these therapists have served in the past and that they have expertise with include college students, multi-ethnic and multiracial clients, veterans, clients with dual diagnosis, LGBT clients, clients with ADHD and learning disabilities, mood disorders, psychotic spectrum disorders, and autistic spectrum disorders. I myself am an existential integrative therapist, and I love to run groups. I currently have a grief group that I'm running and a multifamily group for patients with schizophrenia and their families. I also work with couples a great deal. I love doing couples work. It's very intense and very fun. And then I work with a lot of college students in my practice, and actually college professors as well. So some of our other therapists, beyond what they do in therapy, have experience with research, forensic assessment, and teaching. I myself am teaching a class at UCLA now. Teaching is another love that I have, and I have another side project where we have a training center for existential psychotherapy that's just starting up as well. And a lot of our therapists are involved in leadership positions in a variety of professional associations, including CAMFT, LACPA, the LA County Psychological Association, and the California Psychological Association. One of our therapists is working, he's actually got a nonprofit organization that he works with called The Painted Brain, which is a project for individuals who have severe and persistent mental illness who do art as therapy, but also as a form of reducing social isolation. And you'll notice that we have a card from the project, The Painted Brain, that's in those bags there. He's a musician himself. He plays the upright bass. He's a really cool guy. And then we have affiliations with a number of local training institutes as well. One major advantage of what we're doing here, and one of the reasons that I wanted to do this, let me just kind of take you back a little bit. One thing that happened to me in my training when I was in grad school was I found myself sitting in class one day. I'd been in school for 2 years, in grad school for 2 years, and in school for, 20. And I was sitting there in my graduate school class looking around the room, and the thought that I had to myself was, these people are amazing. This is an amazing group of people. I'm surrounded by amazing minds and people who care about people. And the realization came to me, I really like therapists. I was like, interesting. And that's where it started. That's where the seed for this whole project began, is I wanted to surround myself with therapists. And being one, it's convenient, I suppose. But what happens when you get into private practice, you get very isolated. It's very hard to meet other therapists. It's very hard to find people that you trust that you can refer people to. And so one of the things that we do with this group practice is we're going to be offering weekly consultation as part of the group. It's going to be at a regular time every week, and whoever wants to come can come, talk about whatever cases they have, and then provide feedback to other therapists on cases. I don't know how many therapists I've talked to that have said, I have to pay for supervision, or if I want to do consultation, I have to pay for consultation, and then I get into that group and I find that there's a bunch of people that I'm consulting with I don't even like or trust. And so the goal of this is to really have that kind of trust right there, right in our center, right in our group. Let's see. Also, a lot of our therapists are group therapists. I myself am one, and then we have some other therapists who are doing some bilingual groups in Spanish. So there are opportunities to work with other therapists in conducting group therapy for those who are interested in that modality. Again, talking about modalities, like I mentioned, I'm an existential integrative therapist. Generally, it's a lot of syllables to describe something really simple. The therapy I do focuses on what it means to be human, the unique experience of being human. I tend to work with my clients on how they make meaning in their lives, how they grapple with a lack of meaning, and the inherent meaninglessness that is in life. I also talk to them a lot about freedom, issues of choice and issues of responsibility in their lives, isolation and community, how they build a social support network for themselves, how they deal with the fact that they are often alone, and what that means to them, and also loss. Grief and loss are a huge part of existential psychotherapy. But then you can't really do existential psychotherapy without integrating other approaches. And the other approaches I like to borrow from include CBT, psychodynamic work, and humanistic psychotherapies. The cool thing about this is that the other therapists in the practice specialize in these areas. We have 2 of our people are really, really well-trained psychodynamic therapists. One of them is object relations focused, and the other one's more intersubjective psychology focused. I'm not even going to try to go into detail about those things because they're not my areas, but those two folks are really amazing in those areas. And then we have 3 people who specialize in CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. One is trained in dialectical behavior therapy, that form of CBT, and likes to work with a mainly Axis 2 population. Brave soul. And then our humanistic therapists borrow mostly from a Rogerian method. Rogerian, I should say. So those are the modalities that our people currently operate in. Again, we're looking for diversity. So we're looking for people, we're looking for child and family therapists. We're looking for people who do assessment. We're looking for people who specialize in trauma. We don't have anybody currently who's really trained in mindfulness-based techniques. That's actually something else that we're looking for. And then we're also looking for therapists who are interested in leading their own groups or co-leading groups. And again, as far as the clients that we serve, we're really trying to reach out to populations of people who may not normally have access to therapy. And what does that mean? At the moment, we're not set up to take insurance. We will. We plan to after the first year. So our therapists all operate on a sliding scale. Every one of them has full fee clients at the moment, but they all also are willing to do a sliding scale so that we can provide those services to the folks who may not otherwise have them. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the Aten Group, Comprehensive Psychological Services. Does anybody have any questions? Yes?
First, I applaud you. Business tends to be competitive. It's a masculine pursuit. So to see a cooperative model is really great, I think, for the community and for therapists.
Thank you.
The question is, have you looked at broadening from just therapy to other disciplines? Because like specifically nutrition, because so many people are trying mentally to deal with things, but America's sick. Really, really sick.
Absolutely.
And we have, and Dr. Hyman is, I think, a great example of a doctor who's expanding the nutritional understanding and realizing people are just low in omega-3s, the brain is swollen, people are trying to mentally do things, but physically they're not good.
Right.
So we looked at expanding to other things to get the rest of the person too.
Absolutely. At present, that's part of our 5-year plan.
Yeah.
So yes, we are looking at that. I'm not focused on that right now. Well, at the moment, I'm not focused on that. I do have that. Like I said, it's integrated into our 5-year plan. We do eventually want to involve nutritionists, also trainers, personal trainers in this, and also medical doctors of a variety kinds of medical doctors. I have one psychiatrist who's a very holistic psychiatrist that I'm wooing at present, and I'm hoping he'll join us in our 5-year mark. So yeah, we are looking at expanding in that way, because you're right, you can't treat a person without treating the whole person. Yes.
Have you developed to your point of liking and trusting, like a screening process that you put someone through for joining?
Yes, it's an interview. Like the materials are here, our information's in the bag. So if you're interested in coming in for an interview, we'd be happy to meet with you. It would be me, and we have a panel. It'll be me and 2 other of our therapists, our trusted folks. And I like to think of it less as a screening and more as a consultation. This is how I like to do it with my clients, because you're testing us out too, to see if we're a good fit for you. Absolutely. Yes?
Hi, Hallie.
Hi.
I'm Gloria. I'm a Spanish interpreter, and I do translation, and I'd like to start specializing in mental health interpreting. I know you said you had 2 bilingual. Well, what other capacity would someone like myself, who's very, very interested in focusing on the mental health for herself in the future, that's why I'm gearing what I do and my gifts there. And what you said really just touched every single button that I have already set up. So, do you take volunteers? How can I service you?
We're certainly open to having a meeting with you, so to come in and talk about. I haven't really thought about translation services, to be honest, up until this point. That doesn't mean that we wouldn't be able to make use of that. Again, with the population that we're looking to serve, that could be a very beneficial aspect of the program.
I work with underserved populations. I'm a cultural linguistic specialist for health insurance and clinics in East LA. And I do groups a lot, group classes, and it's just interpreting for the entire group. So I was thinking those groups are really...
Oh, that might be actually a good place. Give us a call. Give us a call. That'd be great.
I definitely commend what you're doing. How long have you been in practice now with this particular practice?
With this group practice, about 2 months. We're brand new. My private practice I've been doing for 3 years now, on my own. And then I've done a lot of community mental health work prior to that. A lot of community mental health work. Yeah. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.